Today we're going to be discussing a new product for the channel. It's a board game, and as you can see, it is Nemesis. And Nemesis is a pretty expensive game. It's going to retail for around 150 Canadian, 118 US dollars. But as you can see, it's a hefty box, and it comes with a lot.
Yeah, you may be able to find it for cheaper as well. We were fortunate enough to get it for 130 Canadian, so you may be able to find yourself a bit of a better deal than that if you're shopping around. And yeah, Nemesis is a game that is highly regarded. It's been one of the more popular games over the last couple of years. It's risen to rank 25 on the Board Game Geek Top 100. Released in 2018, it's a game by Awaken Realms. It was originally a Kickstarter, and which has been quite successful. And yeah, today's video is just going to be an unboxing of the game. It's not going to be really in-depth explanation of the rules by any means. It's not going to be that at all. It's just going to be an unboxing showing you what comes in this, and you can see if it's something you're interested in.
Yeah, additional information that might help you make that decision. It's a game that supports 1 to 5 players, and it's supposed to be playable in 60 to 120 minutes. So, yeah, if you're looking for a more than 5-player semi-cooperative game, this is not going to be it, but 5 is a pretty healthy number.
Yeah, 1 to 5 is generally actually quite a good range, I would say, for a board game. It's going to accommodate a lot of groups, I think. And yeah, before diving into the unboxing itself, definitely worth just exploring like what this is, the theme, the flavor, what's going on. So this is a sci-fi horror game. It's a semi-cooperative game. So each player will have 2 agendas. You may choose to work with your other players. You may also do something to help fulfill a goal of the corporation and do your own thing, backstab your players.
Kind of like Among Us, like a lot of people are familiar with that computer game.
Yeah, I was actually, even like when looking at the tiles of the different rooms and stuff, I was getting real strong Among Us vibes. And that's a really good point. If you enjoy Among Us a lot and you're someone who likes board games, I can see a lot of appeal here with that hidden agenda, semi-cooperative element.
More monsters, but yeah, similar kind of things going on. But even if that's not you, but you like other semi-cooperative games like a Shadows over Camelot or something in that vein, Pandemic, this could be another option as well.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more depth and complexity than Pandemic, but if you enjoy Pandemic and you are looking for a more complicated, deeper experience, definitely different theme as well, some similarities like Hal said. But yeah, this could be for you, a sci-fi horror game, and I think we're ready to dive into the unboxing.
Yeah.
So first thing that needs to be noted is the sheer size of this box. And not only is it's a nice square shape, but there's a significant amount of height to the box as well. We'll flip it around. Nice artwork on each of the sides depicting the different player classes there that can be selected for you to use. Let's pop it. Actually, we should have a quick look at the back as well. So here you can see the recommended age from Awaken Games is 14 plus. As we noted in the intro, 60 to 120 minute estimated playtime, and able to be played with 1 to 5 players. So let's crack open this big box. It's very tight. It's very tightly packed. Let's see what's inside here. Full disclosure, I've already opened it up. I threw one of the little packs that are designed to keep the fresh smell inside out. So if that's missing, that's why. But everything was put back how it was. First off is the rule booklet. This is by no means a simple game. There's a substantial amount of rules to the game. The text
is fairly small as well, so there will be some reading required here. And the rule book.
It's colorful, well illustrated.
Yeah, it's bringing out the sci-fi feel as well. The white text on black looks nice. There's a lot of art interspersed in game component pieces as well. The rulebook is, counting the back page, 28 pages long. So there is a hefty amount of rules to this game. Let's set that aside. Next up are the room sheets here. These sheets are identical. It's providing what I believe is a description of the abilities of each of the possible rooms. Because this is a game with a good amount of variability and replayability in terms of you don't know what room tiles you're using in a game when you set them up. And there's more room tiles than there are spaces. So you will use certain rooms one game and there will be ones left out. So there'll be a good amount of variance between games. And that should add a lot of replayability to the game. Now, here are the room pieces themselves. Speak of the devil. There they are. And there are quite a few of these. As you can see, punch out one of the tiles. They're not overly large, but they're a fairly good size, I would say. They're going to fit on the board well. You get a lot of them, and they're different. Here's the emergency room. And there's the back, as at the start of the game when the rooms are unexplored. Well, not just the start of the game. When the room is unexplored, they will be face down. So I won't punch all of these out right now. You just have a good look at what some of them are. There's good theme: armory, storage, command, or comms room, laboratory, surgery. You got a lot of different ones. Here are more different ones. Canteen, airlock, cabins. There's a really wide variety of rooms. I like that a lot. I like the theme there. Here next up are the player boards and other components as well. Let's punch one of these out. These are fairly sizable, which is important for a player board. There's
single-sided or double-sided?
Double-sided. I believe that's at the beginning of the game. In player order, you draw 2 cards corresponding to the player card, and you pick one to use, shuffle the other one back in, next player goes. So you're not selecting out of the entire list, so you're going to have to adapt your game to one of the 2 you draw that you then pick. There are other pieces here as well, and they're about just standard cardboard game pieces. There's nothing too notable about those. So as you already saw, the captain and the mechanic on that first page. Here is the scientist and the pilot. These appear to be falling out, but they're still in really good condition. I'm not concerned by that. There's the scientist and the pilot. More other game pieces on these as well. And here are the final 2, which is the scout, and flip it around for you to have a look at the soldier. This sheet also has the escape pods as well, and those, I believe, are quite important in the game. Next is the box stand, and the first player token, and what I believe are some sci-fi doors. Now, as you can see, there's a ton of components in this game. Here's the intruder board, various other ship pieces, the engines. The engines can be either working or damaged, and if they're damaged, you may have to go repair them. Okay, I'll just put these down to clear some space because we'll have a look at the actual game board itself now. This board is really high quality. It's thick.
Bigger than average, but not we certainly own games with this size board.
Yeah, definitely bigger than average. It's not. This is a relatively small table that it's on, and It would be hard to play on this one because you need room for your character boards and all the other pieces, but as you can see, the board itself fits here. So here's the ship, the Nemesis.
Is it a double-sided board or a single-sided?
Let's have a look. Good question.
Oh yeah, different layouts is nice to have.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Again, like we've touched on a number of times, more replayability, more variance is always good in a board game. So flip back over to this first side here, and oh, sorry, that's backwards. And let's have a look at some of the pieces. This may be why you're here. This game's known for its models, and that is certainly the thing that is driving up the price of the game. So let's get to it and see what those are like. First off are your player models. There are aliens in here as well, but let's have a look at the player models. Should be the soldier there, I believe. The scientist. This is the captain. Scout, I think. Forgot what that one was.
The engineer, potentially? Mechanic?
Yeah, maybe. And then there's one more here. So those are a good size. As you can see, in terms of the size of a room on the board, here's a room. They fit inside nicely. You can have a couple characters, even a few characters in that room. There's still other room for pieces and other things. I think the models are a good size. Here is a cool piece. This will be used at the end of the game to determine whether your character has been infected. So
it's like the rat scanner in Rat Attack Cat.
The Cat 09 rat scanner. Maybe they gained some inspiration from that classic. So I believe these are to denote player order, but don't quote me on that. I have yet to play.
Looks like they're designed to be stood up.
Yeah. And they're nice. There's a nice feel to them. Maybe potentially a card holder. There is a slot there, but again, I will have to better familiarize myself with that.
Yeah, I mean the fact that there's 5 would kind of speak to that.
Yeah, I think so. All right, time for the aliens. So we'll start with the small little ones here. As you can see, not the most threatening, but certainly still disturbing and posing some threat to our heroes.
Looks like they're eating
or
someone.
Characters.
Or something's coming out of them.
That
might be something coming out of their stomach. Or is that a body?
It's possible that it's mutated so that like there's ones hatching out of it, maybe?
Yeah.
That they are very detailed, even these little ones. It's worth noting the quality of detail on these models. And then they start to get a little bit larger. So here are these ones, kind of scorpion-like almost with their talons. And for reference of those next to one of the player characters, these ones are fairly big. Let's get on to the next ones. These ones are getting more and more. They're evolving and growing even more. And those are substantially large. In terms of other things that is... Actually, yeah, let's just soak in those models there a little bit longer. And in terms of other things in here, these red cubes, kind of translucent even. Not sure what they're used for, but I like them. You have some dice. The dice have that translucent kind of look as well, the red ones at least.
Special dice, it would appear.
Yeah, definitely special with different kinds of marking.
There's a blank.
And again, going with kind of that translucent look. I'm a fan of it. I think it fits here well. Here are some fire tokens. Let's actually take one of these out to fully appreciate that. And those are quite nice.
Yeah, good depth to it.
Yeah, here is a bag. And I am a huge fan that they include something like this. I believe it's a token bag that you draw out of.
Yeah, not an Arkham Horror situation where you have to find a coffee cup or something.
And full disclosure, coffee cup not the way to go. Rattling sound gets a little tedious. So yeah, really, it's a nice bag too, but again, I just like that they include that. They're thinking of their game players here with that inclusion. Here are some more pieces. I won't get completely in-depth in all these. These are stands for the characters. I'll take one of those out just to show you that.
I assume you pick your own color, like they don't... Oh, actually, no, they correspond to the player cards, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. And they're not super easy to get in, but not so difficult either. There you go. Got the gray one here. It's a kind of rubbery. Character won't slide around as much, so it's actually offering some utility in that way as well. Then you have some really interesting kind of like metal pieces here even. So I'll have to explore what those are. They are plastic, but they have a metal kind of look to them. That's it for this tray. We'll get on to the bigger ones here. We'll just slide everything to the side. And yeah, if those other models weren't already good enough for you, there's some even bigger ones here.
That's one of the older ones from the first display, so you can see size comparison.
And then there's the captain there. And yeah, it doesn't even end there. And we have these ones here. So these are very sizable ones. And I'm not taking all of them out. There are more in the container.
Same kind of guys, though.
Yeah, with the exception of what I believe is the alien queen here. So the big behemoth.
It's nice that they have varied sculpts, actually, despite being the same unit.
Yeah. Or, yeah, they are varied. Yeah, that's a good point of note. I like the little differences there. And then here is arguably the most detailed model of all of them. Very large and an immense amount of detail. It looks like there's ones even kind of hatching out from under. You can see the kind of scales on the tail. Sort of like a dinosaur head almost even. All right, well, those models, really impressive. The game comes with a ton of cards as well. Won't flip through all the cards in this video. Let us know in the comments below if you do want a closer look at all the cards this game comes with. We can try to accommodate that. If that's something you really want to see, let us know. And otherwise, it just does come with a lot of cards. I believe the box said 300 plus.
Varied sizes. Varied types.
Might as well pull out the last few aliens. And there you go. Nemesis. The models here. What are your thoughts on the models?
Yeah, really high quality. You get a good amount. It also looks like it's not like 26 individual unit types, which is good. You want to keep the complexity like not that high in a base game. Like that's what expansions are for. So I like what they did.
Yeah, no, I like. And then you brought up a good point of even with the same unit, them being in different poses.
The bigger ones for sure. It's a little harder to tell with the little ones, but It's nice that they did that.
Yeah, these two bigger ones I believe are identical, so it's not always the case. I think this one's head is maybe slightly. Those ones are extremely close, but there is some variance among some of the other ones. The small ones are so small that they are kind of all the same. I don't have an issue with that at all.
No.
Any final thoughts here?
No, looks like a high quality product. Looks like a fun game.
Yeah, let's head to the conclusion.
So there you have it. There's Nemesis. Kind of got like aliens vibes going on as well. That's something we didn't mention in the introduction, but it's another kind of demographic that might like the game.
Yeah, like a nice parallel there. And yeah, the game, it's not based off of Alien, but it's borrowing from some elements of, like, it is sci-fi horror, so there's parallels and similarities there. Let's talk about the value of what's in this box in terms of the price point compared to how much you get and the quality of components. What are your thoughts on that?
Of course, it's always difficult to speak to that for a game you haven't actually played because
I agree, yeah.
your experience may be significantly better or significantly worse than you were anticipating, and that kind of thing can happen. But yeah, just in terms of the pieces, you do get a lot of miniatures for the money.
Yeah, and something you mentioned off camera, but I think that's a good comparison in terms of other miniatures games. The price that you pay for a miniature versus the amount and the quality you get here. If you break it down into just how much you're paying for, like, each miniature, even, you're getting a good deal there. The game is listed as having 26 high quality miniatures. From what you just saw in when we were showing off the miniatures there, they are really high quality. And for the amount you get in terms of the price, in addition to all the other components we saw, you're getting a lot in this box. When the box first comes, when everything's not punched out yet, it's not even closing entirely. It's a stuffed box that's completely full of components. So obviously, like Hal said, we can't speak to the gameplay yet, but in terms of quality components and amount of components, that's certainly here in terms of value.
Yeah, and some of the miniatures are fairly sizable ones as well.
Surprising. I was surprised at the size of some of those aliens, honestly.
Yeah, and there's companies out there that are not. I would honestly say they're not particularly good companies as far as a consumer is concerned. Like a Games Workshop would be some of these individual miniatures. You'd be getting charged probably $40 up per miniature.
50 plus even for, like, some of the sizable ones. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's not particularly great value, but in this case you are getting a lot. In spite of the the price of entry may be prohibitive to some people. Like, this is significantly more than the average board game would cost.
Yes, this is an expensive game. If you're someone who's brand new to board games, if you really like what you saw here and you like the theme, you could dive in, but I could also see the cost feeling a bit prohibitive to a more casual kind of player.
Yeah, I think what I would recommend to that kind of person is pick up Pandemic. It's like a $50 game. See if you have people who are willing to play that kind of game with you. See if you actually like that kind of game, and then you can upgrade from that, as it were. But this is, I would say, this is a pretty pricey entry point if you're not sure you like the style of game. You're not sure you have people to regularly play it with.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. What I will say to that is I like that this is a 1 to 5 player game. I like that there is the fully solo experience to be had there. So it is a game that you always will be able to play if you want to, and especially during the pandemic, quarantines and restrictions, you might find yourself like looking for something else to do at home, and you could have a solo experience with the game. So I like that the range is 1 to 5, and it offers that option for you if that's what you're looking for.
Anything else you want to say about Nemesis?
No, I'm impressed so far. Once we play the game, we can potentially consider putting out a video after the game of just our early impressions and thoughts of how that went. In terms of future plans for the series, I'm not sure how many more videos there will be, but we'll just play that by ear and see how it goes.
Yeah, and if you want to influence that, if you like this video, if you want to see more videos about Nemesis, give this video a like, or feel free to let us know in the comments. Doing things like that just helps us gauge the level of interest and the level of usefulness of videos of this nature, and helps us determine whether more should be done in the near future, at least.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. And yeah, that wraps it up. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. If you like the video, hit like, hit subscribe if you want to see more board game content, card game content. Yeah, feel free to hit that button as well.
Yeah, thanks for watching.